for the fabric storage baskets, and this is how you make them. For each basket you'll need to cut out 2 in main outer fabric and 2 in lining fabric, and you'll need to put fusible fleece interfacing on the back of each main piece of fabric. Place your 2 lining fabrics right sides together. Make sure that the side edges and the bottom edges all line up. Clip into place. I've clipped it, and now I'm going to take it to the sewing machine and start in there using 1/4 inch seam allowance. I'm going to start there and stop, start there and stop. Now leave a gap for turning. Start there and stop, start there and stop. On that, and on there. And now once that's in line, we'll take it to the sewing machine and start in there. We'll sew right across 1/4 inch seam allowance. I've sewn along there using 1/4 inch seam allowance, and now I'm going to repeat for the other corner. This is your lining finished. Leave it this way round and put it to one side for later. Now we're going to make the outer of the basket. Place both pieces of fabric right sides together, line up the edges and the bottom and clip into place. I've clipped it into place, and now I'm going to take it to the sewing machine and start in there using 1/4 inch seam allowance. So along there and stop, start there and stop, start there and stop. I've sewn along the 2 sides and across the bottom, and now it's time to do the box corners as we did on the lining. So once again, put your hand in, match up the bottom seam and the top seam, and then clip into place. I've matched up the side seams and the bottom seams and the bottom edges, and now I'm going to take it to the machine and start there using 1/4 inch seam allowance, so all along there. If you've done that, repeat for the other side. The box corners are completed. It's time to turn this the right way around. Place the outer bag inside the lining. Make sure that your side seams match up and clip all the way around the top. I've clipped all the way around, and now I'm going to take it to the sewing machine, and I'm going to use 1/2 inch seam allowance and sew all the way around, joining the lining to the outer of the bag. Once you've sewn all the way around, pull it the right way out through the gap at the bottom. Once you've turned it the right way out, sew up the gap in the bottom and then push the lining inside. Once you've turned it the right way, take it to your machine and sew a top stitch all the way around the top. You may want to use your fancy stitches for this part. Fold over the tops, and that's your fabric baskets all finished.